Hi everyone. Welcome to Global Business Skills, Fall 2020. My name is Dawn Wood. I'm the instructor for this course, Global Business Skills, and I'm excited to welcome you to this online class at Kirkwood Community College. This is a 16-week class, so we're just getting started, and I'm glad you found this welcome video to help yourself get started. I recognize that for some of you, this will be your first online class, and for others of you more experienced at online learning, you also will be part of the class. So we have a wide variety of people with different experiences. Because of that, I'm always hoping you'll ask me questions, and I'm available to you for those questions. So the purpose of this video is to give you an overview of what this class is all about, how it's structured, and also for you to get to know me a little bit. During the class, I'm really looking forward to getting to know you all a little bit too. In this virtual environment, it's really important we have open lines of communication, and there's a lot of discussion in this class. The first week, you'll have an opportunity to introduce yourself and share with the rest of the class a little about you, and hopefully that'll help break the ice so that we can get to know each other. So let me tell you about Global Business Skills. This class is a requirement for management program students at Kirkwood and is an elective for the rest of you. It is required for management students because it's all of business these days is global. We work with people from different cultures. We interact with companies from other countries. There's a huge global supply chain that's in the news all the time, especially recently with all the events going on in the world. And we've really come to realize that our business world is interconnected with so many businesses and organizations inside and outside of our country, and that network is just getting bigger and bigger and tighter, and to understand it and to operate in business, you need to be able to develop relationships with people from other cultures, understand that there are different cultures, and know how to talk about it. So that's what this class is all about. It's about developing those skills that will allow you to cross borders and interact with people who are different from you, whether that be here in the US or whether that be someday you're working in a different country or a different culture somewhere else. So it doesn't necessarily involve travel, but it does involve developing those skills that allow us to operate in a world that is very global and very interconnected. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name, as I said, is Dawn Wood. I teach this course at Kirkwood, but my primary role at Kirkwood is as Dean of the Global Learning Department at Kirkwood, which falls in academic affairs and is related to all the courses at Kirkwood. Global learning at Kirkwood is all about, our mission is that every Kirkwood faculty, staff, and student engage in intercultural experiences as part of their Kirkwood education. So we want to make sure when every student, faculty, and staff is at Kirkwood, they're also engaging globally. So they need to have global business skills, which is why I teach this class, because essentially that's what I do in my everyday job. Global learning includes study abroad programs, international students, international partnership, English language programs for people who have English as a second language, programs that allow connections between people in different countries, building partnerships, relationships, and contracts with other universities and colleges around the world. So I have an exciting job. I get to do something different every day and definitely interact with people from different cultures on a regular basis. So that's why I enjoy teaching this class, sharing my experiences, and learning about your experiences, and helping to discuss those so that we can grow as individuals and as organizations. I think one of the most important things I want you to know about this class is that we need to have a welcoming environment where you can participate in discussions openly and respectfully. When you read the syllabus, which should be the next video that you watch after this one, you'll read a little bit about the rules of posting online and how you can interact in the best possible way. And when you have questions, I want you to ask me. So each semester, I'm always encouraging people to reach out to me. We can set up a Zoom meeting anytime. I'm available during the day on campus, usually from 8 to 5, or from my home office, which is what you're seeing right now. And we can set up a time anytime to discuss things by Zoom if anything's unclear, or if you want to just ask some questions or share some experiences. I really welcome that. International business today, in this current world we're in with the COVID pandemic, is really interesting. So this semester we'll get to learn and read some more about how that situation is impacting global business. We don't want that to be the only thing we talk about, although that seems to be the main thing in the news these days. We need to think about what's going to happen after the pandemic, can't wait, has died down, and how are we going to recuperate as a global business unit. And you'll see that global business is alive and well, even during this pandemic, and there's different challenges. So I hope in our discussions and in the articles and things that we're reading, we're talking about that and talking about the future. Let's go ahead. The next thing I want to do in this overview is look at the course website, which is right here on your screen. The website is organized in terms of announcements right here on the front. And then the course content browser is over here on the left-hand side. The start here is where we are right now, and where you found this intro video. So let's click on that. I will try to post an intro video almost every week. Some weeks I won't, but I like to feel like I'm interacting with you, even though this is an online course, and continue to make you aware that I'm available for your questions. So each week there will be an introduction section with that video, and then I like to list the learning outcomes for that week so that we can kind of keep track of what our objectives are, what we're trying to learn. In this one, on the Start Here tab, we have the objectives or the learning outcomes for the entire course. So here we can read, the very first one is to identify key global business issues and trends. So we'll have some activities and readings related to that. And then the second one here is about demonstrate knowledge of culture as it applies to oneself and others. So there'll be a couple or 3 weeks where we're talking about culture itself, understanding our own culture and how that applies to other cultures. So that's a very important objective. We'll talk about ethics, and that will be accomplished through some case studies we'll be looking at. And we'll also learn about these cross-cultural dimensions. So in your textbooks and in some of the reading that we'll have, we're going to talk about what are cross-cultural dimensions. And the dimensions are essentially tools that you can use in order to describe different cultures and the differences between different cultures. And those tools are important for business when you're operating across cultures, when you have staff or employees who are from different cultures. In order to better understand the differences, we're going to learn those dimensions. So it helps us to be able to discuss and learn about different cultures. I mentioned ethics. We're going to develop some cross-cultural skills in relationship building and how to cooperate across organizational lines. And for the final project in this class, we don't have a final exam, we have a final project. And in that final project, you will choose a culture to focus on and then prepare and present a final project related to that chosen culture. And that will be in the form of a video, similar to this, like I'm doing. And you'll talk about a certain culture and how to do business in that culture. Okay, so that's the overall learning outcomes. Next on the list here, you'll see this weekly schedule, which is also attached to the syllabus. I mentioned after this video, you should watch the syllabus video. The weekly schedule is a great tool for those of you who like to chart out your weeks and understand when things are due. Now, this semester we have a delayed start. We were supposed to start on August 24th, but we're starting on August 31st. So I had to kind of merge week 1 and 2 together in this schedule. So please pay careful attention to your due dates. For week 1, you'll have this chart is set up so that you have the number of the week, the dates of the week, what the theme of that week is, what the readings are, what the graded discussion, when your discussion posts are due. There's discussion posts every week. When your quiz is due, there's a quiz most weeks, but not all weeks, and then when your assignments are due. So this lays it all out in chart format. If you're like me, you like to be organized, this is very helpful, and will tell you what's due and when every single week so you can plan out your schedule. But like I said, week 1 and week 2 are actually just 1 week, see, August 31st to September 6th. Since I didn't have a lot planned for the first week, I decided to just merge those two together. So for the first 2 weeks, you'll have for the first 1 week, you'll have all of these activities due. But see, they also go a little bit into week 3 if you look at the due dates. But I would suggest you try to get 1 and 2 done in your first week, August 31st to September 6th, or at least started. And I've given a little extra time on the due dates. Okay, so that's your weekly schedule. So we've talked about the learning outcomes for the course, your weekly schedule, and then the last thing in the start here is instructions and grading rubric for participation in discussion forums. Discussion forums are critical to your success in this class. You need to read this rubric carefully so you understand what the criteria are for discussion posts. And if you don't understand, you need to ask me, and I'm ready to take your questions. Each discussion post, you're required to post your initial response by the initial due date and 2 follow-up comments by the Friday of that week. The due dates are listed in the syllabus. You are given 10 points for each graded discussion, and this rubric will tell you what I'm looking for, and I've highlighted the key points here. So each one is 10 points. So if you do everything in this row, the 2.5 row, you will get 10 points every time. And the key things in there are to use references, use your textbooks, to really spend some time being collaborative, and to double check your work and make sure your posts are substantive. And that is 150 words for your initial post and 75 for your responses. So you post 1 initial post and at least 2 responses. If you do more responses, that's even better. So practice that you're on your first week and see how that goes. Okay, so that covers everything in the Start Here section. In this overview, I just wanted to mention briefly, I'll also touch on this in the syllabus, about your 2 textbooks. First one is Working Globe Smart. It's an excellent textbook about how relationship building is critical to success in global business. And the second one is Riding the Waves of Culture. It's an excellent textbook as well, providing a lot of examples, charts, really good concrete business examples about doing business globally. I think you'll really like it. So that pretty much covers the overview. I hope you got a lot out of this video. Please go next to the syllabus one, and I look forward to having you in class. Please reach out when you have questions.